This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, police reveal more details about the couple who died in South Dunedin last week and say they are now treating their deaths as homicide. The Invercargill City Centre receives a makeover with over 100 residents pitching in. And the 64th annual Dunedin to Brighton car rally roars into town. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. Police are now treating the deaths of David N. Clark and Anastasia Margaret Neve in a South Dunedin fire last week as a double homicide. Roselle LeBone has more.
The bodies of David Ian Clark and Anastasia Margaret Neve were found after a house fire in Wesley Street, South Dunedin last Monday. Following forensic examinations, police now believe the couple died before the fire started. Detective Inspector Steve Wood spoke with media at the Dunedin Police Station this morning.
Police are now treating the deaths as a double homicide, and evidence indicates that they died before the fire started. The forensic pathologist has completed the postmortems and the bodies have been returned to the families.
He would not release the cause of death at this time, but says police are speaking with several people of interest.
Yeah, we've certainly had some reports of vehicles in the early hours of the morning in the vicinity, including visits to the address, but we don't want to sow seeds or talk about specific vehicles or anything. We're just interested in anyone that has been in that area.
A 46-year-old Dunedin man appeared before the Dunedin District Court this morning accused of arson. He was remanded in custody and granted interim name suppression by Justice of the Peace Russell Atkinson until his next appearance in 3 weeks. Police say the man arrested was known to the victims and they're not ruling out gang connections. Police would like to hear from anyone who may have seen or heard anything, especially the movements of people, vehicles and motorbikes near Wesley Street the early hours of Monday, January the 22nd. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
Motorists can expect up to 20-minute delays during peak hours on the Karara Gorge Road between Cromwell and the Roaring Meg on State Highway 6 due to roadworks. New Zealand Transport Agency contractors will be working on drainage and road widening to allow for 1.5 kilometres of highway to be stabilised and resealed. Work will take place Monday to Saturday between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and is expected to finish at the end of March. Over 100 Invercargill residents rolled up their sleeves to clean, paint and polish the city centre over the weekend. Rev Up, organised by the Invercargill City Council, saw business owners, council members and volunteers hit the streets for the spruce up. Sharon Rees has more.
The Invercargill Troopers Memorial was one of the first things to get a spruce up over the weekend as volunteers did their part to clean the inner city. Council City Centre Coordinator Kari Graber said with some big events coming to Invercargill, the first Rev Up could help to paint the city in a new light.
I want people, when they come here for things like Burt Munro or to visit family and things, to view Invercargill as a place that they actually want to live. So we are a great livable city. It's time for us to let the rest of the world know and really build that population and you know, thrive.
Teams of volunteers swept verandas and sidewalks, weeded gardens and painted rubbish bins. Southland artists also donated their time over the weekend, filling empty shop windows such as this one behind me, with original designs to help the place look busy and vibrant. Graber said the two-day working bee quickly transformed the CBD, much to the delight of business owners.
The people who are coming out to volunteer are just putting in so much effort, and what's really cool is some of them are taking before and after shots of the work they've done, and the difference is amazing. Colors are coming back, we've got artists out doing windows, we've got people painting up trash bins, and the spirit and the excitement even from the retailers and the businesses has been fantastic.
And while water restrictions which came into effect on Sunday meant any water blasting was off the cards, volunteers armed themselves with a bucket and cloth to begin prep work for the more difficult tasks. Graber said when the restrictions eased, they would have the help of the Invercargill Fire Service to finish the job. She said the success of the weekend would most likely see a repeat in the near future. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Dunedin continued to showcase its diversity of culture yesterday, with the local Filipino community celebrating their Catholic Sinulog Festival. Attendees of the Sunday Mass at St Patrick's Basilica in South Dunedin were treated to a Filipino procession. The celebrations were to honour the Santo Niño, which is a religious relic icon of Jesus as a child. The Sinulog Festival traditionally includes contingents dressed in bright coloured costumes, dancing gracefully to the rhythm of drums, trumpet and native gongs. The 64th annual Dunedin to Brighton car rally went off without a hitch. Over 30 cars, some more than 100 years old, set off from the Octagon heading for Brighton, 17 kilometres away. Daryl Baser checked out those magnificent people and their motorised machines.
Stately cars and motorcycles were lined up in the Octagon ahead of the Dunedin to Brighton Vintage and Veteran Car Rally. Before they were waved away by Mayor Dave Cull and expertly described by broadcasting legend Dougal Stevenson, many vehicles drew curious questions from fans, particularly this 1905 motorcycle. Its owner, Dave Hastings, explains how he rebuilt the pedal-assisted bike from a collection of parts.
Sort of over a year and a half tinkering around and talking to people and finding out what's supposed to be where and how they, because a lot of these things, this one I don't know what it had been used for, but a lot of them have been used for other things. Anybody had an engine that got used for all sorts of stuff. So yeah, a little while just sort of sorting out what to do and how to do it, and all part of the fun.
It's the bike's second Dunedin to Brighton run, and it got going after a little help from some friends. While this beautifully restored piece of working art once belonged to Ollie Latham, who received it as a gift when he was a teacher in the Ida Valley.
For garage one day and we were talking old cars, and the garage owner said, "There's one out the back you can have." And I said, "Where?" He says, "I'll go out that door and you'll see it in the gooseberry patch." So I did, and there was one huge wheel sticking out of the gooseberries, and I thought, my word. So I dashed back inside and I said, "I'll buy it." He says, "No, you can have it." So I rushed down the road and borrowed the tractor and took it home before he changed his mind.
He sold the vehicle a few years back, but its current owner invited him to be in the rally, as Ollie Latham is celebrating a significant birthday shortly. Keith Moore of the Otago Vintage Car Club says this event is one of the oldest veteran car rallies in the Southern Hemisphere. And he outlines the difference between vintage, veteran and other cars.
Up to 1919 is veteran, then from 1919 right up to about in the early 30s is the vintage, and then you've got post-vintage and so on and so forth.
For some, it was a case of everyone and the dog in the car. Two of the vehicles in the field of 36 had to retire hurt, but Moore says it was another successful run. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, ewes fetch high prices at an auction in North Canterbury, and some elusive lakefront land is up for sale in Queenstown.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
While you're relaxing this holiday season, Ready Lawn is available to help you with your lawn needs, big or small. We work so you don't have to. Call Ready Lawn today.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost feel as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
Gillian's Care. They care for loved ones, families, friends and our community. At a time of bereavement, care and support makes all the difference, and Gillians know this. They're here for you when you need it most. From advanced funeral planning to a service for your loved one, Gillian's will guide and assist you with your individual choices. Their legendary attention to detail and passion to get it right are second to none. Gillian's, caring for families in our communities since 1962.
They're part of the family, and like us, their health begins with what they eat too. So give them Radical Dog, made in New Zealand from all natural ingredients and real tart cherries, so it's high in antioxidants. It's a 3-in-1 superfood, giving them energy, flexibility and a healthy coat. With no fillers or nasty preservatives, they love them. It's the treat that can work wonders on every dog, no matter what their breed, age or health. Radical Dog, the new generation in dog food.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician, for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
For 3 generations, the Kilpatrick family have ensured Jimmy's pies are still world famous in the South Island. Made to an old family recipe, Jimmy's pies have been one of New Zealand's traditional takeaway foods, prepared daily on the premises alongside a range of savouries, sausage rolls and cakes. Jimmy's pies are distributed throughout the lower South Island. Jimmy's pies are sure to satisfy your travelling munchies.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Calling all Otago superheroes, the 2018 Relay for Life needs your team. On March 17 and 18, the relay teams will join together to create one of the most inspiring events, helping not only to raise funds but also to remember those who have fallen to cancer or are struggling with it. To register your team, simply go to the website and sign on, then start fundraising. It's about celebrating, remembering and fighting back. Be a superhero and register now at relayforlife.org.nz.
Welcome back. Last Friday saw ewes fetching high prices at an auction in North Canterbury. The South Today was on the scene.
Despite 37 degrees the day before, Friday was a pleasant, cool, cloudy day for Howardin's Ewe Fair in North Canterbury, which saw prices soar as frenzied bidding for quality two-tooth ewes kept auctioneers on their toes.
65.8 there, 168 there.
Pens of ewes were selling for between $180 and $255, with Waikari farmer Peter Roberts receiving $252 for his line of Wairere ewes.
We'll take a single now to help you out. 1, 2, is it? 2. Put him in the barrel. Go on. $252.
The auction was considered a success, with around 17,000 ewes sold on the day. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Queenstown is about to find some hard-to-find lakefront land come up for grabs. Located close to the Kaurora Falls Bridge, the site consists of 2 plots, each about 500 square metres in size. The land dates back to the 1860s when Queenstown founder William Rees established a homestead and station in the area. The rating valuation of each section is over $1 million. However, a larger waterfront section nearby sold for over $9 million last year. Almost $5,000 was raised towards the Mosgiel Pool yesterday with an early morning airport runway fun run. The Dunedin Airport runway was open to public pedestrian access for the first time for the event.
Around 120 people ran, walked and jumped their way across the Dunedin Airport tarmac yesterday, all in the name of charity. I'm Rosella Bone. It takes a special kind of dedication to get up at 6 a.m. and run or walk the length of the Dunedin Airport. These good sorts behind me are raising money for the Mosgiel Pool and taking part in the first ever Dunedin Runway Fun Run.
The old pool is done its dash and we desperately need a new one.
No, I'll be walking, but no, it's a good opportunity to get on an international airport.
It's really good to have a pool out here, and hopefully we can pull this through.
Like all runways, there were some interesting fashion choices on display. Some even made it across the asphalt without shoes. The first runner to finish the 4K course was Simon Bechman, 16, a Danish exchange student.
Pretty good. We're a bit tired now. Cramps are starting to sneak up. We're not runners really, so...
He and his friends said they had been encouraged to get up for an early start.
They went to bed and talked about 2 this morning, so they're raring to go now.
The event was only signed off by the Civil Aviation Authority after 18 months of petitioning by the Taieri Communities Facility Trust, which is fundraising for the pool. Competitors ranged in age from 12 to over 80. Organisers hope the fun run can become an annual event. Rosella Bone, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, a woman takes on the role of cutting the haggis for the first time in more than 150 years, and the town of Lawrence begins fundraising to restore its historic courthouse to its former glory.
Here is this week's Mole Map UV report. Did you know New Zealanders have the highest incidence rate of melanoma in the world?
If you've ever been on a sunbed or been badly sunburnt, what are the chances you could have melanoma? Remove the doubt. Get a mole map.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost felt as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent, and where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
135 Cumberland Street is a brand new, recently listed Category 1 heritage building right in Dunedin's warehouse precinct. Only a short walk to the Octagon in the central city. These are warm, well-insulated, self-contained apartments with all you need for a short or long stay. With beautiful views onto the harbour, these Airbnbs at 135 Cumberland Street come highly recommended for your stay in Dunedin.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
While you're relaxing this holiday season, Ready Lawn is available to help you with your lawn needs, big or small. We work so you don't have to. Call Ready Lawn today.
Oh, help! Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
Loss of collagen is the reason for those fine lines and wrinkles. Silberhorn's Collagen Plus naturally supports your collagen levels, giving you younger, firmer looking skin, healthier, shinier hair and stronger nails. Joints, tendons, ligaments and cartilage all benefit from healthy collagen levels, the very foundation of structural health. Support collagen levels naturally with Collagen Plus by Silberhorn. Be quick, buy one now and get a second pack half price. Call now 0800 502 402.
Active Interior Design in Mornington are the curtain and blind experts. The team can even advise you on outdoor products like awnings and umbrellas, and will ensure that everything is perfect. For interior design with flair, call Active to book your free in-home consultation or call into the showroom in Mornington.
Thanks for staying with us. The job of addressing and ceremonially cutting the haggis has been given to a woman for the first time in more than 150 years. The South Today attended the annual Robbie Burns dinner at Toi Toi Museum in Dunedin to find out more.
Before this glorious feast began, history was made in Dunedin as Donna Rutherford Young was the first woman to address the haggis in 157 years. She admits it was a momentous occasion.
Well, it was a super honour to be asked to do the address of the haggis. So I was thrilled to have the chance to do it this evening at the Burns Supper. So it was been a wonderful night.
However, Rutherford Young says the fact she's the first woman to have this role wasn't a big deal for her.
But yeah, no, generally it was an honour to be there and say the Bard's words, and on a women's perspective it was a small thing, but it was wonderful.
She grew up in Scotland and was raised with the words of Robbie Burns around the house, as her father was a fan of the Bard. Dunedin Burns Club President Royden Somerville says he couldn't be certain, but understands it was the first time a woman has addressed the haggis on a Burns night since the club formed in 1861. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Funds are being raised to buy the historic courthouse in Lawrence and restore it to its former glory. The South Today found out more.
The old courthouse in Lawrence has a very good reason to look a little bit tired, having been built in 1875, only 15 years after Gabriel Reed's gold rush in the nearby area. The Lawrence Heritage Trust are fundraising to purchase the building, and according to Chairman Roger Cotton, they are nearly halfway to their target.
We're trying to raise $50,000, and we've got two other funding applications pending, one with the local group and one with the organisation in Dunedin. So hopefully by the end of March, if we're successful, we should be in a position to sign a sales and purchase agreement.
The courthouse has had a varied past, including use as a Presbyterian Sunday school in the 1970s. It's intended the renovations will create a space for community groups to use. There already have been some private donations, and a trust has a Give a Little page to help achieve their goal. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
Hokitika held its annual Driftwood and Sand Festival over the weekend, with hundreds out enjoying the weather. The South Today took a look.
Crowds enjoyed the 16th annual Driftwood and Sand Festival near Hokitika over the weekend. Along with a number of alternative entertainers on hand, there were 50 intriguing sculptures represented along the beach, some even interactive. The quality of the works meant that judges had a hard time deciding on the winners of the various categories. In the end, Jason Thompson's leopard made out of gorsewood won the Public Choice Award, and supreme winner was Rob Shaw's The Castaway. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. Police say they are treating the deaths of David N. Clark and Anastasia Margaret Neve in a South Dunedin fire last week as a double homicide. Over 100 Invercargill residents rolled up their sleeves to clean, paint and polish the city for the first time ever Rev Up event. And over 30 cars set off from the Octagon this weekend for the Brighton Car Rally. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Phil Somerville. What have you got for us in the paper tomorrow, Phil?
Well, first up, the travel pages talking about cruises, smaller cruises and interesting cruises. Then, as I was compiling a wee list before I came here, I noticed there was a string of stories, surprise, surprise, about the heat. So there's, before I mention that,
who would have thought
that? First up, though, there's about the police treating the death of the double homicide in Wesley Street, and with comments from the family of Anastasia Neve. They're of course shocked and overwhelmed that this has happened.
It'd be horrific for any family to have to endure anything like that.
Yes, yeah. On the weather front, the water restrictions are starting to bite all around the place, all around the south, from Invercargill through Gore, particularly bad there, and Dunedin and so forth. There's alarm about the heating the hospital at Frankton, Queenstown. It's an old building, no air condition, and the reports that conditions there are intolerable.
You don't
wait
want
for
your
a new
staff
hospital,
coming
but when's that? That's still a wee way off.
Yeah.
And I also mentioned another story about the shortage of fans. They're all around the place. The shops have been running out of those, so we're enjoying the heat on the whole, but it certainly has its downsides as well.
Yeah, lovely. There's something for everyone in tomorrow's paper. Thank you, Phil. And now it's time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silverhorn Collagen Plus.
Looking at the situation, a turbulent week of weather ahead with fine and very warm conditions tomorrow and Wednesday, giving way to heavy rain and gusty winds on Thursday, with heavy snow falling on the inland ranges and much colder temperatures from Friday. Looking at what's in store down south, Balclutha and the Catlins, it's fine weather with moderate northerlies and a hot 29 degrees for you. Gore and Lumsden, you have moderate northwesterlies, some high cloud and slightly cooler but still hot 28 degrees. Travelling to central, Alexandra and Wanaka, moderate northerlies, fine and a scorching 31 for both of you. Queenstown, you have moderate northerlies, fine and 30. Te Anau, moderate northwesterlies, cloud increasing and 24. Looking further north, it's hot for everyone, but don't forget your sunscreen if you're outside. Oamaru and Timaru can expect light northeasterlies, fine and 30 degrees. Omarama and Twizel, moderate northerlies, fine and 31. Here in Dunedin tonight, fine with an overnight low of 18. Tomorrow it's sunny and very warm with light to moderate north to northeast winds, 30 and 17. And similar weather on Wednesday, mostly fine and sunny with some high cloud and very warm moderate northerly winds, 29 and 14. And in Invercargill tonight, some cloud with an overnight low of 16. Tomorrow it's fine and sunny but high cloud increasing later in the day, warm with moderate northwesterly winds, a high of 28 and 16. And cloudy on Wednesday with rain developing late in the day and warm northerly winds decreasing, colder southwesterlies at night, 24 and 13. And that's our news for this Monday. For the latest news from the Southern region, you can follow us on Facebook and at channel39.co.nz. I hope you all have a great evening. Take care. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.